Before the sun fully rises over Pyongyang, the day has already begun. Not for the city, but for the people who serve the man at the center of it. Security personnel complete their overnight rotations. Intelligence analysts finalize their morning reports. Kitchen staff begin preparing a meal that will go through multiple stages of verification before it reaches the table. The compound is already in motion, and the supreme leader hasn't moved yet. This is how your day starts. Not with an alarm clock, with an entire system coming online around you. Your residence is Ryongsong, a sprawling compound on the northern edge of Pyongyang, covering nearly 5 square miles. Multiple security checkpoints control every entry point. The perimeter runs deep into the surrounding landscape. Beneath the grounds, tunnel networks provide alternative movement routes between structures. This is not simply a home, it is a self-contained command environment. Your personal protection unit operates in continuous shifts. The men assigned to your immediate security have been selected through a vetting process that goes back years. Loyalty cross-checked against family background, service record, and ongoing behavioral monitoring. These are not ordinary bodyguards. They are part of a system specifically designed to maintain a single layer of absolute reliability around you at all times. You dress. The morning routine is deliberate and structured. Nothing about this day will be left to chance. Breakfast is served in a private dining room within the residence. The kitchen operates under strict protocols. Ingredients are sourced through procurement channels that maintain quality standards regardless of external trade conditions. The preparation staff work under close supervision. A verification process runs before any dish reaches you. Standard procedure at this level, observed consistently regardless of the occasion. The meal itself is substantial. This is not a rushed start to the day. Mornings at this level of responsibility carry their own weight, and the structure around them reflects that. The first briefing folder arrives before the plates are cleared. Your intelligence director enters with the overnight report. All sensitive documents at this level are physical, printed, hands-delivered, handled by a small number of cleared personnel, and disposed of securely after review. The decision to keep critical communications off electronic networks is a deliberate operational posture, one that has been maintained consistently across administrations. This morning's report covers several items: military activity along the southern border, naval movements in the surrounding seas, an internal security incident at a northeastern checkpoint, resolved before morning, a flag on a regional party official whose recent behavior has drawn attention from monitoring teams. You review the report carefully. Questions are asked. Directives are issued. A follow-up review on the flagged official is ordered. The meeting concludes. The documents are collected. The morning has barely started, and several decisions have already been made. One of the less visible realities of leading a centralized state is the volume of decisions that require your direct involvement. Unlike systems where authority is distributed across independent institutions, decisions here move upward. Policy direction, military readiness levels, economic targets, personnel appointments, all of it eventually requires a signal from the top. The result is a leadership structure where your attention is the most critical resource in the entire country. That is not a complaint. It is the architecture of the system. And it means your day, from this point forward, moves without pause. Your motorcade departs the residence. The convoy is large. Multiple vehicles travel in a formation that does not make it straightforward to identify your specific position within it. Parallel route vehicles move simultaneously through different parts of the city. Your personal vehicle is armored and modified for secure travel. The driver follows a route that was finalized only a short time before departure. Route selection at this level is never fixed in advance. Pyongyang moves outside the window. The wide central boulevards are calm at this hour. Citizens in the path of official convoys understand to maintain respectful distance. The city knows when something significant is moving through it, even when it doesn't know exactly what. Your destination this morning is the Korean People's Army General Staff facility. There is a briefing that requires your presence. The briefing room is organized by rank. Generals are seated in a strict order that reflects the command hierarchy. and the room holds a focused silence from the moment you arrive. Today's primary agenda is a technical update on a missile development program currently in its final preparation stages. The engineering team has submitted a readiness assessment. The military leadership presents their operational analysis alongside it. You move through the briefing methodically. Specific questions on the launch timeline, on the expected monitoring response from external satellite systems, on the integration status of key components. The questions are precise. You have been engaged with this program's development for an extended period and are familiar with its technical parameters. The briefing runs just under an hour. Before it ends, one senior officer receives a new assignment. Another is given a performance deadline. The room understands, without further elaboration, what is expected. The motorcade moves again, a different route than the one taken this morning. Movement security at this level means that no pattern is allowed to develop. Timing varies, routes rotate. The number of people with full knowledge of your daily movements is kept deliberately small, and even within that group, information is compartmentalized. Each person knows what they need to know for their specific role, and nothing beyond it. The next destination is an industrial facility on the city's southern edge, a production site that has recently undergone significant upgrades. You are going to conduct an inspection. When the Supreme Leader visits a facility, the visit carries meaning beyond the inspection itself. The floor has been prepared. Staff are positioned along the route you will walk. Operational outputs are displayed prominently. The facility director has his presentation ready. This is standard procedure for any high-level state visit. The environment reflects both the actual state of the facility and the significance of who is arriving to assess it. You walk the production floor at a measured pace. You stop at several stations. You ask a worker a direct question. The response is composed and clear. You continue forward. The director delivers his report. Output targets met, a new process component successfully brought online, efficiency metrics up from the previous quarter. You ask 2 follow-up questions on specific production figures. The answers satisfy the first question. The second requires a more detailed follow-up report, which you request be delivered within the week. The visit concludes. The facility returns to operation. Your audit team will conduct their own independent review in the coming days, standard procedure after any inspection at this level. Lunch takes place at a secondary residence used for midday stops. The meal is prepared by a kitchen team assigned specifically to this location. The setup mirrors the morning, structured, verified, private. You eat without ceremony. An aide remains nearby. The security detail holds its position outside. This is a brief interval. On the table beside the meal is another folder, ongoing items requiring review, pending approvals, a summary of morning communications. Even during meals, the documentation continues to accumulate. You take the time that the meal requires. Then you move. Part of your afternoon routine involves reviewing foreign media. Your media monitoring team compiles selected segments from international broadcasts, news channels, political analysis programs, official statements from other governments. The review serves a specific purpose: understanding how North Korea and its leadership are being framed externally, identifying what information foreign audiences are receiving, and tracking the narratives being built around the country's actions and intentions. Today's compilation includes coverage of ongoing sanctions discussions, a statement from a neighboring country's military leadership regarding border area exercises, and commentary from foreign analysts on recent developments. You watch with attention. Some of what is said is accurate, some reflects incomplete information. Some is a deliberate framing constructed around a particular political objective. You know the difference, and you note it. An incoming communication requires your immediate attention. Your Foreign Affairs Director brings a message that has arrived through a back channel, a diplomatic signal from another government, transmitted through intermediaries rather than official channels. The signal is structured carefully, deniable in form, but clearly intentional in content. It is an indirect inquiry, a way of opening a line of communication without formally committing to one. These moments require careful reading. The meaning of a back-channel communication at this level is rarely found in its surface content. It is found in its timing, its source, its framing, and what it deliberately leaves unsaid. You give your foreign affairs team time to prepare a full contextual analysis. The analysis comes back quickly. You review it, ask one clarifying question, and deliver your direction on the response. The reply will move through the same network of intermediaries in reverse. It will reach its destination without any formal diplomatic record attached to it. The late afternoon is dedicated to cultural and media production oversight. The state's arts and performance apparatus is a significant operational undertaking. Large-scale choreographed performances, film and television production, architectural projects, music programs, all fall under a coordinated system that reports upward through the party structure. At the top of that structure sits your final approval. Today you are reviewing rehearsal footage for an upcoming mass performance tied to a national anniversary. The event will involve thousands of performers and will be attended by a large audience. The coordination required to produce it is considerable. The footage is technically accomplished. The large-scale formations are clean, the transitions precise. You pause the footage at one specific sequence and identify a structural issue in the visual composition. The symbolism in that segment needs to be adjusted. You specify exactly what the change should be and how it should read once corrected. Your creative director records the direction. The change will be incorporated into the next rehearsal cycle. As the day moves into evening, the pace shifts, but does not stop. Tonight, you host a working dinner with a small group of senior party officials, 6 people at the table, selected based on the agenda items under discussion. The meal is formal in its preparation, but functions as an operational meeting with food. Conversation covers a quarterly economic review from a northern administrative region, a logistics question arising from this morning's military briefing, and a proposed adjustment to an upcoming state schedule. The discussion is deliberate. Everyone at this table has been chosen for their position within the party structure, and each one understands the weight of what is said and not said in a room like this. Wine is served. A formal toast is made. The dinner moves toward its conclusion with the efficiency of a structured meeting rather than a social occasion. The officials depart after dinner. One final meeting remains, with the director of the General Political Bureau, the body responsible for maintaining ideological standards and loyalty monitoring within the armed forces. This is a brief session, held privately. The director reports a developing situation. A mid-ranking military officer stationed near the northern border has been using communications channels outside of authorized procedures. The transmissions have been intercepted and are currently under full analysis. The content raises questions about external contact. You listen to the full report. Then you give your direction. The meeting ends shortly after. You return to Ryongsong Residence for the night. The compound operates on its standard evening protocol. Shift rotations are completing. Security logs from the full day are under review. The perimeter checks continue on their scheduled cycle. You sit with the final document folder of the evening, a consolidated summary of open items, scheduled events for the coming days, and outstanding decisions requiring further review. Some are resolved tonight. Others are carried forward. Your administrative secretary collects the folder and withdraws. The formal structure of the day releases for a short period before sleep. This is the quiet end of an evening filled with briefings, inspections, meetings, and decisions that span military, political, cultural, and diplomatic domains. The volume of information processed across a single day at this level of leadership is substantial. The range of decisions made, some immediate, some with consequences that will unfold over weeks, is equally significant. There are personal interests that exist within this life: music, sports, film, the private dimensions of any individual's day. They surface where they can, in the margins of a schedule that leaves little room for them. What stays, at the end of it, is the structure of responsibility itself. A centralized system places everything inside a single chain of authority. At the top of that chain, there is no point at which the responsibility transfers to someone else. It remains with you, through dinner, through the final document review, through the moment the room goes quiet. That weight does not clock out. The bedroom. The guard rotation outside continues on schedule. The perimeter holds its standard overnight configuration. Surveillance systems maintain their continuous operation across the compound. The day has covered a full range of state functions: military oversight, security coordination, industrial inspection, diplomatic response, cultural administration, and party governance. Each element connected to the others through a single decision-making center. Tomorrow, the same system will restart before sunrise. The same folders will arrive. The same reports will need reviewing. The same decisions will be waiting. The supreme leader settles into sleep. Around him, the apparatus that never rests continues its work through the night. Because in a system built around one person, the system has to keep running, even when that person is not.